Hey YouTube.
Record them?
This is Chad from Dirtboard TV. If this is your first time watching and you like this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button. It's time to actually fill our oil tank here. It takes 3 quarts of oil. So I have it by a gallon here. A gallon is 4 quarts. So we're going to put 3 quarts in there. And then I'm going to crack the bleeder screw, which is right there, and I'm going to listen for air. And hopefully we hear some air bubbling, and then we'll put the screw back in. And then we should be ready to start. We'll have that primed. Then we're going to install the oil tank separator and the reservoir for our antifreeze. That will be next, and after that is done, we'll assemble the shift actuator and the rest of the side panels, the cover, I guess it would be the hood and the side panels, and we'll fire this thing up. Now it's time to put the oil in the tank. Make sure you have your drain plug in on your tank here, and then make sure you have your drain plug in down below, and both of those are tightened to manufacturer specifications. We're going to put 3 quarts in here, and then we're going to loosen the bleeder screw and listen for some air. Hopefully we hear some air to let us know that our motor is primed with oil. And then after that, we'll move on to the oil separator tank and the antifreeze reservoir tank. Okay, we'll stop right there in case we have to add a little bit more into it. So now I'm going to crack the screw that's right on top here and see if I can hear any air bleeding through there from the oil filling up the lines. And of course I don't hear anything. How did I know that was going to happen? The screw is completely out. I don't hear anything. Actually, it looks like I do see a little bit of oil down in there. I do see oil down in there. So I'm going to put the screw back in. We're going to call that good. Now we'll install the oil separator tank. This is what started the whole project. It was cracked, and so now we can finally put this last piece on and then do final assembly. Alright, so I'm going to use a little bit of antifreeze on here, kind of lube up the hoses just to make everything go together a little bit easier. Okay, now we got to slide it onto that clamp. I had to move the camera so I could get in here with the camera sitting here and me trying to get in here with a chair. It was just too much, so bear with me. Okay, we're down to just 2 more lines. Okay, all those, 1 more clamp. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hoses connected to that. Okay, so moving forward, we're gonna get the exhaust pipe on. I'll get the air cleaner on, and then we will hook up our brake, or I'm sorry, hook up our reverse actuator and install this other spar right here. And a couple odds and ends, and we're going to be firing this up. Okay, I had to take the tank completely out because I couldn't get the spar in with the tank in. If you remember from the beginning, the bracket was busted, so the tank came out, I believe, without taking the spar out, or it just fell out. I don't remember, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But to get it back in, I had to take this spar out. So now, to get it in, I had to have it like half in there, half mounted, and then I had to take off this cover and get rid of, or not get rid of, but loosen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts, and had the whole headset loose. And that gave me enough room to get this spar back into place. And then I had to rehook up the tank. Now I see a few things I missed. I have one hose up here that I have to hook up, and then also I have to tighten down the bolts here to the steering column. And then I'll put the cover back on, and then we should be ready for some fluid. I'll fill it up with antifreeze and put the plastic back on. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Okay, we're pretty much all the way together here. I know there's some side panels in the seat and stuff's missing, of course. But we do have everything put back together. It's ready to be started. When I turn the key on, I'm going to watch and make sure that my oil light comes on, the warning light. Also my temp light, because both of those were drained, the oil and the temp. And then after startup, I'll watch that oil light to see if it goes out after 5 seconds. If it doesn't, I'll shut it back off, and then I'll have to open that bleeder screw. I didn't bleed the antifreeze because the system wasn't completely drained, and the hoses, when I would move the hoses to put them onto the oil separator and the reservoir, antifreeze would come out of them. So the system still had quite a bit of antifreeze in it. So I'm hoping we're good with that. Let's turn the key on, see what we got. Okay, we do have power. I am looking at an oil light and a temp light. My hijacker's on, saying 12.8 boost. Boost gauge is on, it is at 0. Let's see if she'll fire. My oil light went out, but my temp light is still on, and we're flashing temp. This thing had an idling issue before we started all of this. Probably should have changed the plugs when I was in there, but I still have to pull the hood off again, so that's something easy I could do. I just didn't have new plugs with me to put those in today, and I wanted to get this running. I definitely am going to take a lap here around the yard. We have several inches of snow, but let's get her fired up. Oil light looks good. We're up to temp, but she won't idle. Now I'm going to have to pull the hood back off. I'll check the antifreeze, and then I'll also check the oil. which I can do that with the sight glass here, but I want to make sure nothing is leaking. Here we go, F1100 on the maiden voyage. We do have enough snow. We had a little bit of a snowstorm yesterday, but normal Illinois snow. The wind 30-mile-an-hour gusts blew everything away, and we'll see how things go. Hopefully we can make it out and back with no problems. It'll be a quick trip. Hey, if you like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate all you guys that are subscribed. And if you do subscribe to the channel, please get that bell notification so you're notified every time Dirtpour TV puts out a video. Also, make sure, if you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching Dirtpour TV.